Let's get started.
Okay, test. My mic is working. You guys to speak real fast.
Hello.
Okay, good. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FusionLore, the podcast where we go over everything that happened in FusionFall and dive deep into the lore of the game, exploring everything 30 minutes at a time to understand what's really going on. I'm Magic, also known as the Magical Dealer, and I'm joined by my co-host, Matt, also known as Art. Say hi, Matt.
Hello.
And today we have a special guest with us, a member of the community, a developer of Retro and Legacy, or ex-developer, I should say, and overall just good friend of mine, przzy. Say hello, przzy.
Hello. Thank you for having me on FusionLore. I'm excited to be here.
We couldn't skip you up. You were an important member of the community.
I know. I'm sorry it took forever to get the scheduling down.
Hey, we're here now, and that's all that matters.
True.
And
Everyone's FusionFall.
And today we're going over level 10 through 18 recap, just like we did with Radio Raves. And we're just talking about how we feel about the game world, our thoughts, and then organizing all our theories into one thing before we move on to the next level gap. Before I say anything, Matt, is there any big idea that you have on your mind that has just been pestering you this entire time?
Big ideas. Honestly, to home it through, it's just mostly the stuff in the later levels. The stuff in the earlier levels was more so tame, in my opinion, aside from, I guess, maybe the stuff regarding Professor Plutonium inside of the infected zone and what he may be up to and all that extra nonsense. But regardless, nothing too big off the top of my head, but we'll get there when we...
I'm glad you didn't take that opportunity. You know what I want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
What is the deal with infected zones? What is... I have to just believe either one, we are sequence breaking, and that infected zones that we go to do not exist at every point through the game, and that they get built at some point and then we go there, or the people of the FusionFall world are just crazy and they're like, I'm gonna go chill in that infected zone. Who cares if it's infected? Both options are kind of like, what? I don't understand.
I know. You're talking about the
I'm talking about the auditorium, how the Gangrene Gang is there and they're like, we're putting on a show. I'm talking about Blue, who is like chilling at Disney World on the regular.
True.
I'm talking about the beach where Grim has said he keeps going back and forth from. What is going on with the development plant? What's going on with these places? Are they in use or are they not infected zones yet?
It's Schrodinger's infected zone. It's infected because it's real dangerous, but since it's real dangerous, everyone wants to go.
Honestly,
you can't have it both ways. It's strange.
Honestly, as simple as an explanation as that is, it kind of works for how mundane and weird the characters of this world are. I think
some of it can be chalked up. It's a punk band, right? They're all about danger. I don't have answers for the other ones. That's the only one that stuck out.
I just remember
it's under the implication of they're using the auditorium for its service and not like they're kind of ignoring the fact that it's an infected zone.
Yeah, what happens if like a Sonic Scorpion hops in the mosh pit, or what are those called?
I think it is Sonic Scorpions or Sonic Symphony. I think it's Sonic Symphony.
Yeah, one of those the little monsters that are like around the stage. I mean, like, what if you're playing a show and like, I don't know, is there like security? What's going on here?
Or I just had an idea. What if they are infected zones, right? But like, I know that movie theater across the street from the auditorium, there's at least one NPC who's like, I spent all day killing Fuse's monsters. I'm going to go watch a movie. I'm just talking about the one who said that specifically.
It's such a busy place. Yeah. They're always in line.
He was like, I spent all day fighting Fuse. I'm going to watch a movie on my break. So is it just like, I'm going to go chill at the infected zone? It doesn't matter because I fight Fuse all day long. So if a monster comes, I'll just kill it. Is it just, it's not a threat to me, so I'm going to do whatever I want anyway?
I guess, yeah, everyone you see kind of like around outside, you know, out and about, they're all like soldiers, right? Or at least like they have the capacity to fight. So maybe it's just like business as usual, not a big deal. You know, let's go to the theme park. Oh, there's a dynamite mouse. Just get it. We know how to do that.
That's a crazy world to live in. That's, you know how
I mean,
like
who's outside that aren't like equipped to fight? You know, even like the shopkeepers are like they're KND agents. You know,
Carl.
Yeah, you know what?
Carl.
I stand corrected.
Carl doesn't even think there's an invasion going on.
He's a little preoccupied. Yeah.
Look, that goes back to the grim and death and all that. Like you really can't die. Like, yeah, Carl can't defend himself, but if he gets mollywopped by a fuse on the street, he's gonna respawn and then he's gonna go back and do whatever he was doing before.
Yeah, it's like slightly inconvenient. He respawns like down the block at the gazebo.
Yeah,
just walk back. Yeah,
a little upset. It's like, damn, I didn't want to walk back.
That was another big thing that we had a conversation about of how death actually works in FusionFall is when the player dies, are we resurrected on the spot and like we like get sent to like the nearest like portal, or does our character like go to like a quote unquote afterlife or like the underworld? Because like, what is the point of the portal? Where are we portaling in from?
I think it's
I don't know.
Limbo, sort of.
Limbo.
Like we're dead, but we're not quite dead yet.
I mean, you're getting revived by the Lord of the Underworld, right? So I feel like that's got to play a role in it somehow, whether you go there or not.
He's Lord.
He's the Grim Reaper.
He's the Grim Reaper, but that's his job.
Yeah, he's clocking in.
Yeah, like I don't know if that's like he's the Lord of the Underworld. I think he's just
he's at least important. You know something? Right?
He's like, you know, logistics is gonna be real fucked up if all these people go there now. So let's give him a little chance to send most of them back.
He said, for the next year or so, I will just pretend I didn't see you die. You're all good.
Yeah. You're chilling. Get back out there. Put some ice on it.
You got it.
By the way, it's 4 rights and a left to get out of limbo.
The portal is up there. You know, you start the left turn at Albuquerque, you'll be out of here. Back to the fight. I don't care.
But listen, he's very fascinating. The whole concept in general that he's holding us back from essentially extinction.
Well, is he doing anything? Like most of Grimm's missions speak about him like being on vacation, which to me at least implies that he's like not doing anything. So does like we just die, and because he didn't reap us, we just get back up?
You know something? He's like, I'm on vacation. It's like a cop. He sees you do a crime, and you're like, yeah, I didn't see that. I'm on my lunch. Have a nice day. So it's like it's like one of those things. We get obliterated in front of Grimm, and he's just like flicks fingers. We're back to life.
Sipping a mimosa, having a good time.
I'm going to pretend I didn't see that.
I mean, I don't remember which princess mission this is, but it's like the one where you got to go ask Grimm to give more bucks the deed to the Grim Gardens chains. You see the Grim Gardens chains that are around the world.
Takeover?
Yeah.
I think that's the one. Yeah. I mean, I think he's just outsourcing it basically. He's outsourcing like the
death,
the secret to life. And you know what? Smart.
Grim is like, now listen here. If you want to stay alive, when you die, just rub a little bit of this cream on your arm. Good as new.
Yeah, I mean, he just corporatized. He corporatized the cycle of life and death itself. And honestly, is that not just the future we're all hurtling towards?
No, yeah, he's right.
I don't want to live in that future.
Die while the rich will live forever.
In that future. I'm good. I'm all right. I'll just die. It's okay. When I'm finished, I'm finished.
But like, imagine you're out there, you're fighting. You know, maybe one too many like tech wings sneak up on you. You die. Whoops. You wake up and you're like in like a sauna, like a spa bath in Grim Gardens. You got some like Grim products there. You're good as new.
No, because when I wake up in the Grim Gardens, the next thing I'm gonna see is a bill for everything that he's done to me since I got there that I didn't consent to. And he's like, you gotta pay, man. You gotta pay or I'm sending you back to the underworld. Which is it?
It's like in Stardew Valley when you pass out, they bill you for saving your life. Like, oh, it's the same thing.
I noticed you didn't have insurance, but we wouldn't be able to bill you if you died, so.
I'm not with it. I'm not with
Here's
it.
your bill.
You did make me think of something else when you said the tech
there
window.
are hospitals around the world, but you don't see nothing's going on there. Like they're always like their hospitals are like in City Station and City or the Townsville Center and stuff. No one's around. Like they're just infested with monsters. You know, no one's taking people to the hospital.
What's the point of going to the hospital? You can't die. What are you gonna do? Look, the doctor. If I was a doctor in that scenario, I'm just gonna be like, "Look, Chief. Best scenario, you just kill yourself. You're gonna come back.
Yeah. You know, you your health bar gets a little bit too low in Minecraft. And you got no food. Honestly, just jump off the cliff that you're on, and you'll respawn with full everything. It's just the same concept, you know.
Grim's a real cool dude. He'll bring you back right now. It's a favor for me.
Which honestly, yeah, to bring it back to the infected zones, I guarantee you, if I didn't have to fear death in any way, I would go to the dangerous, like most dangerous parts of the world, you know?
It's still gotta hurt though.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
You're feeling the pain. If a fusion monster just squashed me, I think I would still feel every part of that squash.
That's true. Although, I mean, like, you can jump from a high distance and be fine. So, like, I don't know. Maybe that's more like the tech you're wearing, but maybe your armor that's being handed out to people these days is so good. Like,
I'm gonna chalk that up to the nanocom I got in my pocket, and it just makes me light. It makes me super light because it's in my pocket. That's Dexter looking out for me.
And you know what? You know what? Great for Dexter. High key.
Dexter has privatized all technology in FusionFall.
That's a solid invention.
Not better
what
than
was the
not
other
die.
thing you said about infected zones? That they're like a whole different like plane of existence or whatever?
Well, I was just saying, like, it just seems to me that there's no way these places exist at all times. Which actually reminded me of something that was like a crazy to learn about, because like a lot of this podcast has just been us like literally learning the lore for the first time. So when we were at Haunted Ridge and we learned about the meteor.
Oh yeah.
That
kind of forget that one's there, I'll be honest, but yeah,
it's kind of just Haunted Ridge in general is just like a location that you don't remember at all. There's nobody there, and it's just a big rock.
There might be one mission. I legitimately think they never make you go there. Like you have to go check it out yourself.
No, you do.
If you ever want to go.
It's with the mission line with Gwen with is it Room with a View? Or
that sounds like one she'd have.
It was either Room with a View or like a Book of Prophecies one. One of those she sends you out there.
At the very least, it does not make you go out there a lot.
No, like that. Once you go there, once you do literally like one level's worth of missions and then you forget about it. But like it's crazy because like the craziest lore stuff is over there because we find a meteor dropped by a different group of aliens that has the capabilities to push back Fuse's infection, which is wild to me because we find this information out and then literally never speak about it again.
Yeah, sure. Just a random alien spaceship, but we have no idea about who they are. What
they're just hanging out up there. They fly around.
Anybody should have just got on the phone and say, "Hey, Dexter, we found this meteor dog. You're not gonna believe what it does. It pushes back no more infected zone. We stopped the creation of an infected zone, and we didn't think to tell anybody about it. Not a soul. We just kept that information to ourselves, like, huh?
Yeah,
that was neat.
We don't do anything with it.
That's information for the special alien capture team only.
They are working with Fuse because how do you have this information? You're like, it's on a need to know basis, and you don't need to know.
Nah, in reality, it's just the glory.
No,
they've taken over
They're back.
Wait, no, future. Matt, tell them up what your idea about Megas the Glorf and Fuse.
Oh, okay. So we had a mission line for Larry 3000. They speculated the hive mind, correct?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I wrote that one.
Well,
yeah.
well, I believe we looked through one of the I guess Megus's hard drives to look for information, and in his hard drives contained information about Fuse. But mind you, how did Megus get here in the first place?
From the
In Megus's
future.
lore from the future. So in order for him to have information on him, and why we all feel, well, at least why I feel like Fuse is here to begin with, is because Megus fought Fuse in the future, then did all the time travel shenanigans, and then that little piece, maybe there's a little bit of a piece of Fuse stuck to Megus, or maybe the information of him being out there is enough to attract him over to our planet.
You know that Team 4-star meme where it's like Vegeta and he's like, "Is that me? Is that me stronger than me?" Fuse just woke up one day and he just sensed more of him somewhere.
Like
I
across
buy
the
it.
universe. Yeah, like I
And you
feel
know,
like
if
that's the
that's-
only reason he's here.
If that's the reason, then that would explain who the Haunted Ridge alien is, right?
The Glorf?
It would be them. Although they don't really fly around. Like, it's like a very, like, I don't know, like stereotypical UFO. I feel like they don't usually use those. They're more like high-tech Star Wars-y ship kind of people.
My
Yeah,
idea
and
was
they're
that it
sorta
was like
coasting.
a reality show, and they're like, "Yo, I wonder if they can beat Fuse or not. For $10,000, you can send them a lifeline," and the meteor drops. We're just entertainment as our world is falling apart. These people who have fought Fuse before us, like, yo, they're gonna
live
die.
fan vote. Will this abandoned mining town become an infected zone or not? Vote now.
Literally.
Standard messaging rates may apply. It's a big reveal on the Friday show to end the week before everyone, while everyone gets home from work.
Everybody has a favorite character. It's like,
And
yo, I
remember,
hope
guys,
human number 3
regardless
does
of
well.
Regardless if you vote or not, the show must continue. Things will happen without your intervention. So if you want to see them succeed in defeating Fuse, send in your votes.
Low key, the aliens themselves are the creators of Fuse. They were the one that made the fusion that spread throughout the universe. And they're like, well, we can't stop it, but we can watch it.
Nah, it's a big prank. Fuse is in on it.
No, wait, Matt, speaking
Fuse is in on it, man.
Speaking of pranks, we cannot have an episode of FusionLore, especially bringing a new person into our madness.
Am I getting pranked right now?
No, without telling him about our favorite fusion mayor.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, listen. He's
Listen,
got to
do
get
you
those
know-
infected pickles.
See, look, it either goes two ways. Either Fusion Mayor is the absolute backbone of the war,
And I would believe it.
or Fuse keeps trying to drop him off and leave him at town hall. All right, like in a little basket, like a little baby. He's got his little fusion pickle
He's like
rattle.
the runt of the litter, kind of.
Yeah, so it's either his ideas for infecting the food supplies, the water supplies, all came from Fusion Mayor and his pickles,
Mhm.
or like I said, he's trying to get rid of him because he's like, why are we doing all this useless shit?
I mean, I don't blame him. He doesn't really know how to like set up a fusion layer correctly. Like he's just at the beginning of it. Like, does he not think that he should like hide behind the monsters that are like there to protect him?
No, all fusion brain power went to the process of making pickles. That was the only trait he could take from there. The only thing he could grasp onto.
No, that is another personality trait he did take though. However, he's just in the beginning of his fusion layer because he's just expecting the fusions to fly and destroy us.
True,
when they're not the Powerpuff Girls.
He's calling is there like a fusion phone? They have the phone that they call.
No, he doesn't call the Powerpuff Girls.
I don't know what's in his lair. Is it like mean behemoths or something? He just calls them up.
Yeah.
The moment he sees us in the lair, he just yells, "Oh, Fuse! Go get him!" Like he thinks he's in charge somehow. He doesn't understand what's going on. He thinks he's the mayor.
So funny. You enter his lair. There's 3 monsters only, and it's just like a red and a blue and a green, like a recolor of the same one, and they don't do anything.
Girls. He's just too confused. Every other episode, when we learn something about Fuse, we say when we as the player stop something Fuse playing, we say Mare just slowly walks back into Fuse's lair, and it's like, you know what could work, boss? I have these jars of pickles over here, and all I'm saying is Mojo Jojo had fusion bananas, and it turned his monkeys into that. So who's to say?
What could become of the pickle? Who's to say? It's really. I mean,
God,
this is a whole thing. Yeah,
we're gonna dive into this again and again on every episode. Always find a reason to circle back to Fusion Mare and his pickle.
Fusion Mares, but I don't care about any other fusion. I couldn't even tell you about any other fusion. Fusion Mare, the goat.
Fuse is masquerading as Mare.
I want whenever Fuse leaves,
think about it.
For Fusion Mare to stay behind, and he thinks he's doing something. It's just a note taped to his nose.
They shoved him in the back corner of the school. Like no one goes over. It's like by the tennis court. I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, we didn't really we had a tennis team, but no one cared about him.
We did have a tennis court. I never saw anybody on it. Oh, I love Fusion Mare. I love him so much. I'm discombobulated. To talk about something else, I can only think about the pickle man.
All right, look. I guess we could talk maybe on some of the shenanigans Blue was putting us through.
What you got?
Oh, that man needed some fried dough.
He knew it. He knew it.
I still don't quite know what that is. That like an elephant ear?
Fried dough?
It's gotta be like funnel cake, right?
Yeah, or like funnel cake. I think that's probably more what I was thinking of. Yeah,
funnel cake is just fried dough.
Listen, I don't know how, but he survived eating the fried dough with the infected fusion water. Bro. But I think that's only because he's an Imaginarian.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, this just looks like bread. I don't. Like you just wanted bread so bad. Are they like out of rations or something? Like what's going on?
Well, that's the whole thing, man.
That's what Matt thinks.
Fuse has infected sandwiches, pickles, the water supply in the city.
True.
He's done a whole lot of shit, like some actual war crime, like let's infect the water supply type shit. Like okay, he is always going after some form of food item, be it candy or anything, turning them into sick fucking nasty fusion matter nonsense, and he's always trying to get someone to eat it. And for some reason, people can't recognize a fusion.
It's Mare.
No, it's not even just Mare. Like, it's so many people who you would think these people can recognize what a fusion looks like, and then they look at it and they're like, that looks like a regular person to me.
Yeah,
that's the new girl.
Yeah,
the cankers. Yeah, the new girl came over.
The new girl. She lives at the trailer park. Yeah, she's green and she floats. And she like doesn't talk, but also sometimes talks. They talk sometimes, but you don't see them talk.
Yeah,
you know what, Matt?
You're told that they talk.
I'm starting
to
come
talk
around
to me,
on
some
it.
Schizo.
They
talk to me, but they won't talk to you.
They don't talk to anybody but me. I'm special. Yeah,
I'm starting to come around on the cankers specifically not knowing what a fusion is, only because the trailer park
character
is so close to Foster's, and if this was a living, breathing world. How often is like an imaginary friend going to that trailer park and they're just like, yeah,
it's right across the way.
That's just one of them imaginary friend people. So what? She's green.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't know they were allowed to like leave. I thought they had to go on like a bus or like a field trip.
My tongue is yellow right now, so who am I to judge?
Their tongues are. I forgot that their tongues are some weird colors.
Yeah, my tongue is blue.
That's like it's in this range of levels, right? You got to like dress up and pretend to be an imaginary friend to get adopted by Fusion number 5.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's just like, how did that? Like, it clearly filled out some kind of paperwork, right? Like, it had to have like it can read. It can like it has it knows the concept of like a signature.
Well, I don't know. That's assuming too much. Like we don't know how smart a fusion is. Like you're saying it maybe it did this, but like what are the chances that also they saw fusion number 5 and they were just like, oh, like they Scooby-Dooed it. They were like, you're here to adopt a imaginary friend, right? Right this way, right this way. We have your imaginary friend like just around the corner.
The dialogue does imply that like fusion number 5 like will not let you in the lair unless it like truly believes you're the imaginary friend like, that it is meant to adopt.
Whoa, yeah,
that
this is all my imaginary friend
or whatever.
I'll tell you, they Scooby-Dooed it, bro. We dressed up and they're like, yeah. That is my imaginary friend.
That's honestly, like I get we're in war. That's some heartless betrayal. Like imaginary friends are. I mean, they like could change anyone's life,
They're
you know,
staple.
just like having someone to be your imaginary friend, and then all of a sudden they shoot you with a gun when they enter your little home.
No way, that gets so much darker when you like realize.
No, they hit you with a rocket, and then they pull out a little miniature version of you, and she goes drop kick and kicks you in the face. I would be so mad.
It gets so much darker when you remember that the imaginary fusions also have like some form of free will. So like maybe through like the shared information that is fusion matter, she was like, what's going on with those imaginary fusions? Maybe if I myself get an imaginary friend, I would be happier as an individual. And she thinks she's getting one just to get shot in the face.
And can we blame her? Honestly, like who doesn't want a little buddy?
Oh no, who doesn't want a little?
But honestly,
I mean, it's great. Just a little guy, right?
What
I mean, it's definitely not like it's not like the best thing to have, but like you know,
you need like
a little companion.
I mean, it's a little guy. I don't really remember what you look like. You have like you have scribbles and you have like a Coco card. That's probably enough.
Talking about the scribbles?
Yeah, you have to collect them, I think, for your disguise.
Scribbles
so
ethically for Matt freaked him out.
Ethically speaking, scribbles are fucked up.
I mean, I'm not here to say it one way or another.
They're essentially baby imaginary friends
for life.
Yeah.
And they just get stuffed in a closet.
It's tragic.
This is my dead baby pile in the closet. When you look in the closet, it's
crazy.
Well, nothing would imply that they're alive because they're getting used for experimentation by Professor Plutonium.
Dead baby pile is crazy. Mr. Harriman,
like no one else in the world thinks it's very ethically like harsh. I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe they're sort of like plants almost, I suppose. I mean, you don't like shove those in a closet, but like we all like agree they're alive, but we don't treat them like pets necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Well, scientifically speaking, plants have feelings too, and that was proven.
They do. I'm not saying I throw plants in a closet. I'm
the
just
scribbles are screaming in the closet.
I give them some water. I put them in sunlight. You know,
they're screaming with no voice to be heard.
The scribbles are screaming.
I'd be freaked out if they were. I probably wouldn't have that plant anymore.
That's crazy. That's wild.
You know something? That's actually really funny because apparently this is off topic as hell, but plants can have favorite people.
What?
And they can also have not favorite people, and they will scream at people they don't like, and they will grow more when they're around people they like.
What does the plant screaming entail? Like
I don't exactly know, but I know it's like they tested it, like their nervous system is like as if they were screaming.
Interesting.
Like the electrical signals they gave off. Also, they have like a weird way of sensing where their caregiver is. Like if you water a plant around a certain time, it will anticipate your arrival.
I guess that makes sense.
I'm learning so much about plants today.
I'm learning a lot. Like this is all new info to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, Fusion Eduardo is a really nice guy, and
anyway,
he saved the man.
He did leave a very suspicious clue. He said, "Big secreto under El Boardwalk."
Yeah, no, oh my god, I'm so glad you,
bro. When we did that mission, that's what we.
And his lair, not under a boardwalk. Objectively, it's on a sidewalk, like over there.
That's what we were like, bro. Fuse is up there in the sky, pissed as hell. He's like, why do I keep making these fusions?
If he's a hive mind, then he just like kind of watch. He's like can watch Fusion Eduardo like write out that on a chalkboard. He's just like shaking his head.
What are you doing?
He's like,
what are you doing? He's screaming
under L boardwalk. It's crazy.
It's even funnier to imagine, like, even though Fusion Eduardo has like, because of the imagination energy, like has some inherent goodness to him, he's still loyal to Fuse. So when he goes back, he's like, I'm sorry, Senior Fuse. I just don't want to hurt manatees.
The manatees, they were my best friends.
Bro, I just want like a small mini comic of like, meanwhile on Planet Fuse, while we're like destroying every plan he has, he's just fuming up there like, I just don't understand. And just occasionally Mayor comes back with pickles.
He does have a pretty bad track record. We kind of thwart like every single plan that he has ever made.
Yeah, he's probably really pissed, honestly.
Which is funny because like I think about this every now and then when I'm playing through the game. Like, how bad must this world be without the player character that just us being here changed the world this much? Fuse has not gotten a single W since we've started the game. But when we don't exist, they are helpless. The world was about to be shattered in the future. What was going on?
Even when we miss out on the gooby traps, they're just like, you gotta start all over again.
Yeah, they don't even work. It's like, oh, they malfunctioned. Better try again.
You weren't ready yet. Don't worry,
Destiny
bro.
path right now.
Like, no, you know what? I think I subscribe to the reality show theory now. I think I do, because like, what other explanation is there other than like, it's like an American Ninja Warrior course is what infected zones are, right? And then you got to do the little special task they give you, but if you don't do it, it's like not real, you know?
Yeah.
There are no consequences for anything. You could just not, like, what happens if you just log out and you don't play for 8 years? Nothing happens. There's no consequences.
The future happens.
I mean, actually, to some extent, it's like life pauses for us because everything is relative to our own experience.
Maybe we are the chosen one. Maybe the Book of Destiny was on this.
If you think about it, right? Like you can look at other characters, but there's no, besides our level and what nano they have access to, or what nano they have access to at the time, there's no real difference between us now being level 18, something like that, right? And then being a level 36 in terms of relativeness. But the only difference is what we experience to us personally.
Well, no, we had that theory way back when, Matt.
Today and never came back. Yeah, nothing would happen in the world, but also that means nothing would happen in the world. So time is essentially frozen relative to our
Some
own
guy's stuck in traffic coming home from work, and he's like, God damn it, the player character logged off. I'm stuck in this traffic jam for days.
No, but we had that theory way back when, Matt, where we were like, what if
our Minecraft dog waiting for us to come back to us?
What if with each new nano we create, we inherently become stronger with the quote unquote imagination energy? And that's why we can fight stronger monsters. We've created so many nanos with our imagination that it's become more potent, per se.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. You have a new imaginary friend, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to have a certain amount of power to be able to get to this point. I understand that. But I mean it in a sense of time and relativeness. Like, nothing that has happened for us already will ever happen again. But also, if we don't continue the game and just fuck off somewhere, nothing is going to happen.
When you go grind
around us.
That's deep. That's deep.
You're grinding and the NPCs are like, well, I can't do anything but wait for you to finish to find the item you're looking for.
Exactly. They're just in limbo waiting for us.
Every time you come back to the shopkeeper to sell your excess inventory, he's like, did you find it? And he gets like a little disappointed when you go back to grinding.
Some may say the time is now. The hero is you.
Oh my God.
All right, roll the credits.
Michael Bay's music starts happening.
You know something that lines up that's very on brand for FusionFall. That's the reasoning after all that.
But you can't tell me that because I'll get a big ego. I'll start talking to NPCs like, do not mess with me because I'll choose not to play anymore. And then you're fucked. What are you going to do?
You know, if you change around that sentence is you better do it now because you're the only one who's going to do it.
I mean, true. You are. What's the
Goddamn.
I think it's one of the Dracula missions. Blue has a line where he's like, you put this whoopee cushion here. I know it was you because you're the only one who ever does anything around here.
Yeah.
Fourth wall break.
Did you write that?
I did.
I think the only Ghost Dracula line I remember from his mission was like, what about that Ghost Freak fella? I like Ghost Freak. Base Dracula. Base Dracula.
I mean, Ghost Freak's awesome. I don't blame him.
They should have put Ziskar in the game. Missed opportunity.
He would have been sick. You just got to
Matt,
deal with him being a haunted house prop.
I'll let
We
you
need
talk
some
about
Dracula
your picture
meds.
now, Matt.
Once the Omnitrix is no longer on the fritz, it's over. Ghost Freak's back. I guess it depends on when this happens in Ben lore because you might be gone. But
I mean, like, what about Alien X though?
What about Alien? Do you hold on?
Yeah.
This goes back to my conversation of what is a fusion? Is a fusion a clone, an imitation, or the entity itself?
what do you mean the entity itself?
Right?
I say it's an imitation.
If a fusion is getting memories from the personal item, because we have had so many examples now where like fusion knows information that the original character knows.
Yeah.
A la Fusion Bubbles knowing about Rocket the squirrel, or Fusion Dexter being able to use Dexter's science brain. Is that themselves? Like, is it just a twisted version of themselves? Is it a clone, or is it an imitation?
I think it's like a
Combination.
Yeah, I mean, my gut is to say clone because it's like a goopy clone made with basically DNA of the original through the personal item. So they like maintain the same traits. I don't know how memories and DNA interact. I'm not smart, but like I feel like that makes sense.
My brain ain't
it's
there,
relative
but I have an
experience.
idea. From the very little of science that I remember from college, it was someone told me that there is a small bit of memory stored in DNA.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what I think at least. It's like some kind of it's like a clone, but like I wouldn't say it's like a complete definition of a clone, you know?
Because I spoke about
They
this.
kind of like rebuilt them. Like they rebuilt an
atom
entity.
by atom.
Yeah, but it's like fusion matter by fusion matter almost.
I was speaking about this in a previous episode where Fusion Mandy is trying to control Grim, and I was like, well, the Grim Reaper has an agreement with Mandy to like kind of do whatever she says. Does that then extend to her fusion? And that kind of depends on what a fusion is.
That I've never thought about that, but yeah, that's a great point.
A fusion is like a husk with memories.
Like what?
Yeah, it's like I guess if someone made someone built a robot of you and used like an AI for like its brain, right? But in this instance, it's like a metal robot is fusion matter, and the AI brain is like their DNA or whatever.
See,
So
I would inherently say that's not me. I'd be like, well,
yeah. So yeah, I guess it depends on whether you think that's you or not, right? Because like I could definitely see the deal with Grim and Mandy just not being applicable because that's not Mandy technically.
but
Like
if
it's a new thing made from Mandy's DNA, but it's not Mandy. It's not the Mandy that made the deal.
It's an unoriginal. It lacks a soul.
Yeah.
well, to go back what even spawned this, right? If Fuse got Alien X DNA, would it be like Omniverse Alien X, where it would be just like Alien X abilities, or would it create an actual new like Alien X alien with those two personalities in its head?
Oh,
I would think it would be the funniest outcome if it was just did nothing, just stood there because there were two fusion oh god, what are their names? Like
Bellis and
Serena or Serana or something, right? If there was two fusion versions of them that had to agree, But I guess in that case they would agree because they're fusions and they're I don't know.
I'd like to believe that they just wouldn't have the two. I would say in the case of if Fusion. Oh my god, if Fuse made an Alien X fusion, it would quite literally just be a statue.
Why? What's your basis on that?
Because Fuse operates on an information highway where everything is a hive network. So if he were to create a fusion Alien X,
I know where you're going, and I like it.
He would be essentially cut off from the two minds that operate the body of Alien X that make the decisions.
Because he can't talk to it again until it gives it new fusion matter.
Yeah. So he would be able to make a fusion Alien X, but it would just be a statue, essentially. Like, yeah, I think maybe he could get it to move, but like move is just the baseline.
Or
I'm not talking using its strength or anything or powers or anything.
Dig this, right? So like Alien X is like personality people, the Bellicus and Serena exist outside of time and like reality, essentially.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, I like where you're going.
So if you made Fusion Alien X, does a Fusion Bellicus and Serena pop up in that reality?
I was thinking that even like my way of going about it was that I don't even think they would exist because they aren't like him. They're like controlling him almost.
They have to like decide.
My Ben 10 lore might be off. It's been years since I've rewatched.
Or would it be like Fuse creates a separate reality and he has to argue with a Fusion Bellicus and Serena, even though they are supposed to be connected to him? The personalities of those two individuals are just so great. He cannot sway them no matter what. And the war is just won because Fuse is stuck in Alien X.
That would be a way to go.
Like at this point, yeah, just give him Alien X. He thinks it's gonna work out for him. I don't think it is.
That's so interesting. I guess I haven't thought about this that much.
And actually, matter of fact, their personalities, they're not even extra dimensional, but their personalities inherently contrast each other. So if a fusion Alien X was made, would one of them be fusion and one of them be imaginary personality?
Wow, I was also You know what?
The timer. Oh wait,
I don't know.
Okay, we keep talking about this. We're finished. No more new topics. But the one thing I want to bring up before we continue is that we all collectively forgot there is an Alien X Nano, and the Alien X Nano can function.
Oh, you're right.
But
that's what I'm saying.
That does just throw a wrench into everything we just talked about, does it not? I completely forgot about that.
That's strictly like imagine. So I don't know the implications of it just being an imaginary. Like it's a nano made with imaginary energy strictly.
Are you saying that we specifically influence when creating our Alien X Nano that this one will do whatever I tell it to do? Heal me, Alien X.
Isn't that how it works though, right? Because you're the tiebreaker?
Well, no. Yeah. Well, it's regular Alien X. It's usually like you suggest an idea and everybody debates until enough people are on one side. To where, at least in FusionFall, even though it is a game, we're trying to add some type of logic to it. We summon the Alien X Nano and we're like, I need to be healed. It heals you immediately. There is no like conversation. Do we think
it's like a nano made specifically from Alien X when Ben has full control of it? Like that one time in Omniverse, the only time it happens.
Let's not even get it in. Let's not even put it into perspective of if he has full control of it.
This is breaking my brain to think about because, like, is the nano
because of the very nature
Alien
of
X? What is Alien X's personal item? What did we use to create Alien X?
I don't know, like galaxy dust or something from its original home, maybe? I don't know. How do we have that? How would we have that?
Alien X is breaking my brain. I don't know. I don't want to think about it anymore.
He doesn't have scales. Like, it's not like humongous, or you could like pop a scale off or something, or a vine from Swampfire.
Alien X is supposed to be like
just like a body of celestial energy,
right?
Maybe you can like put it in a. I was gonna say you can cup it in a jar or something. Just a little bit of celestial energy.
I don't know. It's weird. I feel like the very nature of fusion matter in itself restricts its ability to use the abilities because you need to have that decision making, the two person not going against each other, you know?
Well, it still has the abilities because the Fusion Powerpuff Girls can fly. They're just not as strong as the regular Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, they float a little bit.
But the one thing we have seen in every fusion is that their personality tends to shine through. Let's not forget Fusion Mare.
So it's just they're both evil, sick and twisted personalities inside of Fusion. What do you call it? Brain, Alien X, Drain. Anyway,
it's okay.
Yeah, my brain did not work for a second. But if they have two personalities, where would one of the personality slots be taken up by a personal item and the other one being occupied by fusion matter?
No, I don't think.
Or
no.
is it literally just the mindscape of a fusion? The idea of having two personalities inside the head of a fusion monster might be too much for conflict.
I think I'm too dumb to figure this out, and I'm gonna stop thinking about it.
We're losing something here. I don't know what it is.
The more we talk about it, the dumber we get. The further we get from an answer.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've never thought about it. I'll be honest. I think the funniest outcome is if there is a fusion and it just stands there, and I think that's where I want the outcome to be.
I want Fuse to be trapped. I want him to be hella confused on what's going on, and then we just pick him up and throw him away.
It just can't come to a decision.
We get that meteor from earlier. We put the Fusion Alien X inside of it, and we close it off. Problem solved.
Put it in the middle of the sun.
Good night, everybody. Oh my god, this episode is all over the place, but it was fun. It was fun.
No, this is awesome.
Yeah, just give it a week, and we'll find out whether or not Magic actually was recording his mic.
No, I tested it. I'm playing. I tested it.
I was like, we did the audio test for nothing.
No, we did. Look, that's what happened to radio. We had to record twice for radio.
Yeah.
It
was an accident.
That's all I got. The only thing I'm looking forward to learn about FusionFall is Runty. I don't know anything about Runty. We have not experienced a mission about Runty. We're running out of levels, and I'm kind of scared that the game is never going to officially explain what Runty is to me.
He comes in at the end, I think.
At the end is crazy for a character that's in a level 11 area.
Yeah. No, I think it's like you're doing them in batches of 9, right?
Well, the recap in 9, we do each episode is a level.
9. Guide missions, what, in 12?
Yeah, so after this we'll record, I think,
which is crazy,
the level 19 missions, and then
we'll get there eventually. I'm pretty sure he's late.
That's crazy. Was Runty an afterthought? Was Runty a late addition to the game?
Probably.
Anyway, thanks for being on the show, Prizzy. Thanks for enjoying our madness.
This is a lot of fun.
Feel free to tell the people if you got anything going on.
In here again, we will, but like,
I would love to. Honestly, that was a lot of fun. Like, the time flew by legit. Like, when the alarm went off, I was like, there's no chance that it's been 45 minutes.
Yeah. That's usually what happens when we have these bigger episodes. And honestly, most of the time when we're recording normally.
Yeah, we get cut off every time.
We either get cut off or we just finish just on time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we ever had an early episode.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Well, Mr. Prisman, do you have anything you want to plug or tell the people about?
Let's see. You should follow me on Twitch. I stream 4 days a week consistently. I've been doing it for a while.
He's a big streamer.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
He just got back into FusionFall.
What?
He just got back into FusionFall too.
I did, yeah. I started streaming FusionFall a bit when the Retribution updates came out.
And hopefully more to come.
Oh yeah, definitely. I gotta finish that character. Like I said, I'm at level I think 19 or 20. I think.
We also got to do that as well. I also got to do one for myself personally, aside from the podcast account.
That's it. I've been Magic. He's been Matt.
Norris.
And he's been Prizzy.
Whatever you want to call me, and that's Prizzy.
This episode has been our own Alien X conversation. We didn't get anything done. We just argued with each other. Excellent, everybody.
Very excellent chemistry, I think, at least when it came to discussing these speculations and topics.
I would agree. Absolutely.
just